This is George with Pro Drain and Rooter Service, working at 4815 Southwest 56th Avenue, Portland. Working from a 4-inch cast iron cleanout that's located at the back of the house, underneath the green plastic cover. Pushed the camera out approximately 84 feet to the city main line, which I believe is running. I believe this goes to the drain runs to the west and then goes north. I'm not haven't accurately located it, but I think this is where this goes. Anyway, approximately 84 feet. What we're looking at is a drain that's got the water running. I'll go ahead and turn the water off at this point. We'll let it drain down. So we've got where we're in the 6-inch concrete pipe, and then as we come back, we'll go into 4-inch Orangeburg pipe, and as we come through that, we'll notice that the drain itself, the Orangeburg or the tar paper fiber pipe, is in places has started to flatten or to oval out, and so you can see in some of the joints that it's no longer completely round, but is actually starting to flatten. So you can see some ovaling that's happening. The drain itself seems to be draining fine, but anyway, it's a little bit old and it's showing its age. So we'll go ahead and pull the camera back and take a look at it. Initially, we're going to be coming through 6-inch concrete, so we'll just look at that right now. So as we're coming back through the concrete pipe, the pipe itself is it's intact. It's in pretty good shape. It does show some signs of wear, as we can see that the aggregate is exposed at the water line. But overall, it looks like it's in pretty good condition. We've got a little bit of a belly here. I'm not sure what the cause of that is, other than it's just settled a bit. So approximately 66 feet, we've got this this belly. So concrete pipe. I'm going to turn the water back on just to flush this out and see if we can get a little clearer picture of what the pipe looks like. Maybe some clear water we can see a little better. So it looks like the pipe is intact. I don't see any signs of it being broken or damaged other than just its age. But it has settled. It does have a belly in it, and so it is holding some amount of water. I would say probably in the 6-inch pipe it's probably holding about 2 inches of water. Camera is completely submerged, even when we turn it off. So I'll go ahead and shut it off and then let it drain down. The problem with a belly or a low spot in the line is it has the potential to allow waste and paper to accumulate in this area, and it can potentially create what we call a sludge backup, and so or just a typical blockage. So waste and paper can build up in this area and then cause a problem. So we'll go ahead and continue back towards the house from here. Here we've got another spot that's a little bit worrisome. It's not bad, but we do have some roots here that are growing into this joint in the pipe. They're not very big. They're not causing any problems, but it is just something to consider in this drain. Here's a good view of the pipe itself. We can see that it's actually the concrete is starting to wear through. We can see that the aggregate is exposed. It's intact. The pipe is not broken or shifting or anything, but it's starting to show its wear. Here we make the transition into what we call Orangeburg, or a tar paper type of pipe. We can see here that the pipe is delaminating, it's coming apart. Here we've got a little bit of a bulge in the bottom of the pipe. Not huge, but again right here we're seeing even more of that same type of thing happening, where we either have roots growing underneath it causing the pipe to deform, or it's just over the years of use it's starting to delaminate. So this is the bottom is on the left-hand side of the screen at this point. You can see right here, good view of how it's ovaled out. It's not round anymore. More of that. That's pretty obvious right here. At this joint we can see that it's no longer round, but it is very much an oval shape. I think most of what we're seeing on the bottom of the screen at this point right here is just some buildup that's starting to flake away from the side of the pipe. But it doesn't look very good. More of the bottom being pushed up. Here it could be that it's delaminating and it's actually coming apart. So this pipe may actually be completely failing at this point, where we've got holes in it. And that could be the case, or it's just a buildup, but it almost looks to me like the pipe is starting to come apart. Again, more signs of this pipe breaking down. It looks like it's draining, but obviously it's got some issues. Another joint where we can see clearly that the pipe is flattening out, no longer round. Here's another good view of it, how it's coming apart on the bottom. More of that. again, more indication this pipe is really starting to show its age and it's wearing through on the bottom. Yeah, here's a good view of how it's really breaking down here on this upper left-hand corner of the screen. Again, the camera is not self-leveling, so we're looking at the bottom of the pipe is rotating as the camera rotates through here. More signs of it wearing through on the bottom. And again, another view of how it's ovaled out, flattening out. The bottom of the pipe appears to be just breaking down, and then the top is just kind of collapsing down on it. Not collapsing, but it is being pushed down. And the pipe is another view of this here. Yeah, if anyone were to try to run a snake through here or some other device like that to clean it, it would very likely do a lot of damage and possibly even get their equipment stuck in this pipe if they didn't know what it was. Here we've got an elbow, which is typical for this. They use cast iron elbows to add strength in the corners as this pipe is, that's a good wear point for the water flowing through. Again, more indications that the pipe is just wearing out. And then we're back to the cast iron. Another good view of how this pipe is just going oval. It's just being flattened out over time. Here's where you come back to the clean out. And then here is another issue that is part of this drain system. In order to get into the pipe, I found that the riser, which is cast iron, was loose and no longer connected. And I was able to just lift it out of the hole, and so here it is, sitting there. I used a piece of 4-inch pipe to push down in there just to keep dirt and rocks from falling into the pipe. So that's what we're looking at here with a hose inserted into the pipe. So this little piece of 4-inch ABS is just pushed down into the hub, and then we've got this pipe that will go down and back in there. I'll just put it back in as I'm finished up here. So this drain, I'd recommend a complete replacement of the line, as the Orangeburg is failing, and then we've got a little bit of a belly farther down the line with the belly in the concrete pipe. So that's my recommendation on this drain, that it be replaced, and unfortunately it's under a brand new deck, it looks like, and probably most of this line, well, at least a lot of the Orangeburg is running directly under that. So but that's what we've got.